Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Qigong in the dark night. It's amazing how dark it's gotten. I welcome everybody, particularly those who are here for the first time. And just as a reminder, this particular kind of Qigong is a fusion of Taoism and Buddhism. It's Zen practice. And the movements and postures and teachings and meditations are designed to enhance Buddhist practice or Eastern religious meditation, contemplative practice. So just as a little introduction tonight, we're really going to basically be dealing with, if you're familiar with this, we're dealing with the Heart Sutra. We'll be embodying that teaching. So I don't go into long diatribes and lots of words about what all this Dharma is, but I want to mention a little bit so that we can understand what we're embodying. Neuroscientists tell us that all of reality, everything that we sense in this world by seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, tasting, all of this is presented or appears in the mind, literally in the brain. So if we see an object, the light comes in and synapses are fired in the brain. And that's where the seeing takes place. The eye is just the organ. The brain is the perceptual organ for all the senses. So when the ancient Buddhist teachings say that there is no separation between inside and outside, this has been verified, literally. And the Heart Sutra talks about this as that basically, where would you be without eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, the senses, and mind? So that's sort of one of the questions that it poses, like what is there without those six sense doors, the mind being the sixth sense door. And it boggles the mind because we can't answer the question. It's a koan. We can't think about it. However, I think we can use the body and we can use these Qigong practices to directly access, to bring us right to the threshold of those teachings. And I think that's what spiritual Qigong it does so well. So we'll be doing some familiar movements and postures, but with a little different twist on it. Okay? So let's begin with standing. And again, you can do standing mountain, just like this, where you're really enhancing your intention to drop down out of the thinking mind or out of the surface qualities of mind and down into the body, really into the sense of touch. So the sense of sight and hearing and smell and taste, that's all upstairs. And the sense of touch is the whole body. And so this is where Qigong begins. Is with the whole body as an organ, a sense organ. Or you can stand just in a more relaxed way a little bit with standing position 1, where the palms are facing. And usually this standing mountain, after a little bit, sort of segues into this softer position. And where the elbows are slightly bent. And it's as if we're holding some big oval here. And we're focusing on the in-breath because the in-breath is what drops us down and what relaxes the body. The out-breath, excuse me. The in-breath energizes. And the out breath relaxes. So we're letting go of the focus on the activity in the mind or in the head and dropping more into the activity that we sense in the body. Now, the felt sense of the body is also perception, which means that there is a perceiver. There's mindfulness or consciousness that's perceiving it. Okay, and let's go ahead now and bow to the 7 directions, starting with the north. And bowing to the north. And turning to the east, bowing to the east. And turning to the south. And then to the west. And then back to center. And then vertical, up. The eyes follow the hands. And then down the earth. And then within. Okay, and let's begin with a little bit of warming up, so stretching out the neck a little. And then moving into circling the shoulders. Opening up the chest and then opening up the back. So this is in breath and out breath. Filling and emptying. And then switch the direction. And you can kind of put the neck and shoulders together and move them just to loosen up that whole area. All right, and then moving down into the middle dantian, fingers pointing to the chest. And so in breath. Let's do two more. Okay, and moving down to the belly, and then rocking the pelvis. So sort of flexing the lower back. If this causes you pain, then modify it. But it is designed to stretch the lower back, make it loose. Okay. And then circling the hips. So viewed from above, we're making a circle with the hips. We're moving the thighs, the knees. Keeping that, the lower dantian, the joints, the hips and the pelvic girdle and the lower back, keeping these loose. This is really good for us, those of us who sit a lot. Okay. And then our balancing exercise. So imagining the hands resting on a counter, feeling and imagining this vertical line through the crown of the head, down through the body, into the earth, our vertical center, our axis. And that goes right between the feet. And now as we shift the weight, bend the knee a little, shift the weight to the left foot, that line goes through the left foot. Then we can lift up the right foot. We can leave the toe down if we like, or we can lift up the right foot. Be balanced on one foot. And then touch down, shift back to the middle, shift the weight onto the right, bend the knee, pick up the left heel when you're ready. When that vertical line is going through the foot, you can safely lift up the unweighted leg. Touch down, no weight, shift. When you're there, then go on to one leg. And then if you like, then you can add in the hand movements. Or you can hold this golden pheasant stance on one leg. So you can play with this and have fun with it. The main thing, though, is to achieve balance on one foot. And there are a series of Tai Chi moves, various kicks on one foot. Now, really, if we just do this a little bit once a week, it goes a long way to improving and maintaining our balance. All right. Very good. Okay, let's go into the backwash and tree and spring. Beginning with the attention at the crown of the head. And then let the head drop, tuck the chin, the chest caves in, shoulders roll forward. And then we're going to move the attention to the spine from the top down as it opens up. And just rest and relax in this kind of upside down kind of place. Check your weight is evenly distributed on your feet. It's not tipped forward. Okay, let's come up together. Now the mind, the attention's coming up, the backbone from the bottom up, coming straight up. And as it approaches the neck, then the hands begin. Eyes follow the hands, look up, and one. In breath. Two, one more. And we're just going to briefly touch into the standing posture, sort of reorient, get the midline, that central axis, check the balance on the feet. And now let's repeat. We'll do this a couple more times. So backwash, move the attention to the crown. And the attention goes down as you feel the vertebrae opening. And you can stretch side to side if you want to. And just let go of any idea that this is uncomfortable. And just sort of rest in this. Okay, and then let's continue. So moving back up. Now as the vertebrae are closing one at a time, all the way up. And when it gets to the neck, then the hands begin. They're pointing inside the body, bringing the attention up the body. Eyes look up. So that's one. Pointing down to the earth, now pointing into the body. Bringing the attention up, out, extend. Attention goes up into the universe, then comes back down, down through the body, down into the earth. Last one in this set. Tension goes up, exits the body, exits the fingers, goes way up, and now comes back down inside the body. Okay, last set. We'll do this in silence, backwash, and 3 tree and spring. And when you're finished, just remain in standing. Good. Okay. Okay, let's go into Trembling Mountain now for a couple of minutes. This really gets the attention down into the body. You can have your eyes open or closed or partly. Now we can still see and we can still hear and so on. We're not shutting those things off, but we're mainly focusing on the sense of touch here. And that means the skin, you know, feeling the air, feeling the movement. This enables us to feel our muscles, our tendons, our bones, because they're moving. We can feel them. And we can feel our internal organs. Maybe not each one distinctively, but we know we can feel them in there. There's a fullness and they're moving. And this is sometimes called an internal massage. It's actually a full body massage. And we let down the shoulders, just let go of everything. And give full attention to the sense of touch. You may notice if there's a little commentary arising in your mind, in your consciousness about this, or not. If there's any activity in the mind, then increase the intensity of the trembling. So we want the attention concentrated in the body, in the sensations. And of course, you can vary how you're bouncing. That's always fine. So this is just enjoyable. This is relaxing. It can be stimulating. It's a really deep experience of the body. Meaning the sense of touch. Okay, now all these movements, everything we feel, come through the nerves, and there are synapses firing in the brain right now. That's what all this sensation is. So the brain is activated. The mind is activated by the energy that you're creating through the movement. The mind's not gone. It's here and it's activated. But the content is not verbal or visual, or it's just tactile. Okay, let's go for maybe 30 more seconds. Okay, ramp it up a bit if you can. Make it more intense. Okay, so all together, let's stop together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, how do you describe this sense of touch that's activated right now? So some words that are often used are tingling, heat, heaviness or lightness, vibration, energy, pixelation. What are the qualities of touch that you feel right now? Okay, so let's move this into the sense of sight. So if you would, please close your eyes. And let's focus on the emptiness of what we're seeing. In other words, just focus on what you're literally seeing with your eyes closed. What are you seeing? Seeing something. Your eyes are working. It's not just black, is it? It's not just monotone. So most people describe what they're seeing as millions of dots moving around. Energy, vibration, pixelation. And it correlates to how the body's feeling. The body is feeling, the sense of touch in the body is pixelated, energetic, constantly changing, tingling. So what we're seeing on the insides of the eyelids is kind of a visual tingling, isn't it? It's how the eye works and how the sense of touch is tingling, the sense of sight is too. And now we're going to do a little experiment, okay? But just for a moment, just a fraction of a second, we're going to open our eyes and then close them. Okay, ready? Go. Okay, let's do that one more time. Just going to open the eyes for just a fraction of a second and close them. Ready? Go. Okay, now you can notice visual memory. There'll be a little echo of what you saw. Okay, and now we're going to open the eyes again. And rather than just focusing on the objects in the room, we're going to focus on that energetic pixelation, that vibration that we're seeing when the eyes are closed, because it'll still be there. Okay, ready? So open your eyes. So not focusing on the objects, If there's a wall or ceiling that's empty, the objects too, though, all the objects are energized. They're energetic. They're not solid. Okay, so closing the eyes again. So when the eyes are closed, there's no form, is there? There are no forms. And let's open the eyes for a second. Ah, the world of forms. Okay, close the eyes again. Now, what the Heart Sutra is telling us is that when there are objects of perception, a self arises to see them. Okay? So if we're just standing and feeling this body, energized, vibrating, pixelated sense of touch, and then we're looking at the insides of the eyelids, we're seeing that. And this is getting close to a sense of non-self. Now, as soon as we open the eyes, wham, the mind is busy. It's naming everything. It's seeing, and there's memory. We know where we are. Everything's familiar. Suddenly, this sense of a separate self arises. And close the eyes. The sense of self can merge with this inconstant, energetic presence that we call feeling or that we call seeing. But those are just names. It's just an energetic presence. Okay, let's take a couple breaths. So go ahead and break your stance. You can shake yourself out a little bit if you like. I'm going to go into this in another way. So let's come back into our standing posture. And closing the eyes, how do we know that a body is here? Aside from memory and habit. Those are mental formations. How do we know there's a body here in this moment? Well, we can feel it. Good. What is the nature of feeling? What is that? Can you describe it? Okay, so feeling is the deepest sense. It's the original sense. But we're going to investigate what it is. We've taken it for granted all our lives. Okay? So we've all done the breathing the stars meditation. So this is where, very simply, so it was focusing on the breath, the in-breath, the torso fills up. Out-breath, the torso empties out. So we're going to use the mind to enhance this physical sense, this felt sense. So as we breathe in and fill up, in this practice, we imagine breathing in light through the pores of the skin from all directions. The light enters the body and lights up the torso brightly. The whole body, really. And then breathing out, it goes back out through the pores of the skin in all directions. So breathing in, lighting up. Breathing out, sending the light out. And we want to feel this not just in our front, but also back sides, top, bottom, everywhere. Now the eyes, with the in-breath, the eyes will look down into the body that's lighting up. The out-breath, the eyes will look out, like ahead, in all directions, following the light. So light comes in, eyes look inward, body lights up. Out-breath, so let's just practice this a little so we're kind of used to it. Now you may just smile when you do this, just because it's very pleasant. Okay, now going beyond just the body. So we imagine the body in space, which it is, and all the stars and galaxies and everything out there all around, below us, behind us, above, everywhere. We breathe in, all of the stars rush in, fill up the body. And space is empty. And we breathe out, the body is empty and space is full. So we can follow the light with our attention, with our eyes. Light comes in, lights up the body. Light goes back out. We're used to following light, and let's reverse it. Let's follow the darkness. So on the out breath, the body's dark and the surroundings are light. The in breath, the environment gets dark because we're breathing all the light in. Let's follow the darkness. Okay, and let's just be natural here. Okay, now let's use the body to enhance this practice, and we've already done this. So with the in breath, as everything comes in, the hands come in. So in breath, out breath, in breath, out breath. Okay, now the hands are going side to side, but the intention is in all directions. Okay. So then we can bring the body into it. So in, exhale, in breath, okay, now remember the body is just this pixelated set of messages that's firing in the brain. So the body's moving, but it's not just solid. It's moving with the light and with the darkness. So we can feel our hands, for instance, and then we feel beyond them, out in all directions. And then we can feel into the body, and we feel deeply into every cell in the body. So it's very expansive. Now the visualization will eventually fade, and it'll just go into the felt sense and the mind. Okay? So the mind is a space, and the space is vibrating with this energy just like the body is. In fact, all of this sensation is in the mind. You can let go of the names of the body parts, arms, hands, just let it go. It's just energy. It's just neurons firing. It's just activity registering in the mind that's perceiving. Okay, let's reduce the movements. And hands in front of belly and chest. Now, can you feel this tingling, this sense of aliveness? This is not only a sense of physical aliveness, this is the felt sense of consciousness. It's how consciousness feels. Consciousness in the mind is energetic space. Can you feel that? Okay, let's go ahead and pull up our stool. Okay. And just take the meditation posture. So we're aligning with that vertical axis. And you can use the Lan Fa if you like, or any hand mudra. Okay, let's, if you would please, if you're comfortable, let's close your eyes and just notice physical sensation. Okay, and you may name things, but maybe you'll name your feet, your fingers, your tongue, you may name things, but let's not. Let's not even name this a body. It's just experience. Just this energetic presence. A felt sense. And what is the felt sense made of? Tingling energy. The energy in the body is the same as in the mind. So let's just rest in this energetic presence. And let's rest in the place where thoughts appear. They may not appear, but the place where they would if they did appear. Eyes can be open or closed. There's a watcher present. There's awareness. Okay, if a thought appears, it appears out of this energetic field or presence. It takes form. If a thought disappears, form becomes emptiness or energy. all thought and all sense impressions appear out of this energetic field, this presence. And they are all noticed as they come and go. And the noticing is none other than the energetic presence itself. Whether it's objects in the mind or feeling, a sense of touch, doesn't matter. It's all moment to moment arising and passing away. Okay, you got this? Because you're here, there's an observer aware of all this. You haven't disappeared. There's this vast energetic coming and going, happening so quickly, we don't even notice it. This is the world coming into being and disappearing moment to moment. And now you can use your intention. You can drop your mind back into your body. You can notice the spine and notice the posture, notice the breath. The noticing part is always here. You can notice the mind, notice the place where thoughts appear. There's freedom here. You can practice breathing the stars if you like. Now, this energetic presence that we identify as feeling, as the body, as the world, the sense world, and the space in the mind where objects appear. This is timeless. This is the doorway to awakened being, because this is beyond self. This energetic presence has been here always. It takes form, and form melts back into it, moment to moment to moment. Okay, let's take a couple more breaths. And as you open your eyes, you notice the objects, the familiar objects around you, and what else are you seeing? Are you seeing the energetic presence of the objects around? Are you seeing the space as well as the objects? Okay, maybe move your hands a little bit. Okay, so we'll move into our closing. So to keep us all together, so on the count of 3, we'll clap our hands one time. Ready? 1, 2, three. Rub our hands together and massage our eye sockets. And use our fingernails, comb back our hair. And massage our ears. Okay, and make loose fists and tap the kidneys. And then massage the kidneys. Okay, and thank you for your practice. And after this, we'll go into comments and questions.